Alright, again, we're going to do some readings, and if you would like a tarot reading, you can message me through either YouTube or Facebook or through my website, www.brotherwade.com. Our first reading is for Amy. We do readings every week, free readings. We try to do a once a month kind of update kind of thing as well. We've paused this for a time being. I had some family issues to tend to. I think it's been almost a long time. I had to deal with some stuff. We're done dealing with that stuff now. And I am ready to read for everyone again. So, Amy, I got your question. I have your concerns. I've talked with them. I've understood them. The first card that we have for Amy is the Force card. It shows a maiden hugging a lion. Now, Force also is strength. And I see right away with this card, I'm being told, or I'm getting the feeling, that something in your life is not going that well. Now, what I mean by that well is things are pretty good. However, we're seeing that some things are not as good as you would like. This card is telling me to relay to you that you have to have strength. You have to have courage, and you have to have discipline. This lady is disciplined. She's firm. She's ready. She knows that this animal's not going to hurt her. She's prepared. Force is also a prepared card. And it comes with the Ten of Cups. We see starting here, slowly going down, and some are spilling. But I don't see that for you. For you, I see that it's filled, and I'm recognizing this middle section as if it's a tower. And all these things are around you. Some things are not good. Some things are perfect. Some things are just like you. I see that this is coming into the Force card. This is coming into strength. It's coming in with coping skills. I'm sensing that there's some things that have to be done, whether you like to do them or not. They're going to have to be done in your life right now. And our third card for you is the Sword. I'm going to draw another one. I'm getting a feeling that is the World. The Sword represents power, air, what's around us. The air element is around us, okay? A lot of people also say it says Earth. This is going out of the ground into the sky. It's very. This card is very angelic, and the World card shows a naked female with a tapestry around her, which represents the world, the sun, the devil in the corner. We have wind. We have the elements, and what I see is air signifies freedom. You can go wherever you want in the air. There's nothing, unless something else is in the air, of course, blocking your way. And right now, nothing is blocking you from what you want to do, from what you are doing, from where you're going in your life. It's a very good reading for you. It's a freedom reading. It's a reading of goodwill for you. Okay? Thank you. And we'll go on to our next person. Okay, our next person is Deidre. Deidre didn't state a problem, so we're going to do a general 4-card reading for her, unless I am in tune to do more. We're going to draw. The first card is the Six of Swords, and the Pope. The way I do this is I draw 2. The Six of Cards is telling me something's with it. This is a religious card here, the Pope. Okay, the High Priest, the Hierophant, the Magnificent, whatever you want to call it. This card signifies religious, strong, firm belief system. Now, the falling off the horse is telling me that at some point in time the ride did not go well and the rider has fallen off, or he's worked with this horse. It looked like, in this case, you tried to go somewhere with the horse. You grabbed the front of the horse and he's kicked up and you've fallen down. It shows me that religiously and spiritually, and more of religion and order of your spiritual belief has fallen or has gone to the wayside. You haven't left, you haven't done anything to hinder it, you haven't done anything to unnurture it or despise it, but you have come to the point where you have fallen from what you were doing. Not bad. I don't see this as a bad instance. I see this as a movement towards something new, towards the next avenue that you're going to take. I see someone driving, and I see that you see, oh, there's another road. I need that road, and you turn on it. It's not a type of thing where it's stopping. It's you notice something new, perhaps. The next one is the Popess, which is the female version of the Pope, the High Priest, as the high sister or head of the feminine side of the religion, which shows me I'm reading for a female. It shows me that this is for you. It also shows me that they are matters of feminine issues. They're matters of relationship. They're matters of personal belief. And the way I'm going to describe this for the viewer that's viewing this later down the road, perhaps, is that a woman thinks differently than a man. The gods, the spirits, the creators are different towards man and woman, and I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that we have the sex, the gender, the orientation for a reason that we have. And this also shows me in a reading, whenever you have a female come up when reading for a female, that it's for them. It's showing me that this reading is for you. We have Justice, and it's also a female. Doesn't mean anything really, but I'm reading for a female, and the Justice is holding the sword. And I'm getting the figure that she's going to stand up and use this sword. Justice comes with something that's happened, and something that needs to be dealt with in a serious manner. Now, we're not talking about violence because there's a sword in the card. We're talking that action needs to happen. In life, we need to be serious of our action, or we need to be prompt and ready with our action. The seriousness is doing it now and unforgiving, getting it done. The idea is there and go for it. The acting promptly is, okay, I'm going to react, let me wait a while, maybe tomorrow I'll do it. Promptly has the procrastination. The serious never does. And this is a serious matter. I'm going to draw one more card for you today, and it is the Two of Cups. It shows a bride and groom. It shows two different things. Maybe a relationship issue. I'm not saying it's a divorce, okay, because this is showing me two people together. But I'm seeing a relationship issue with the other gender. I'm seeing a relationship issue with another person that is settled in your life. Now, settled means they're there. They're not going anywhere. I feel that this has seriousness to it. I also see moving. I see something about a house in one place and a house in another. Maybe a separation, maybe a preventing of a separation. Now that I've said that, and I'm getting that in my head, maybe you're holding strong to a relationship. And I think that's good. I think you should continue that if you're doing that. This is a good reading. It's a firm, strong reading. And again, thank you for letting me read to you. Our next reading is for Leandra, who sent me a photo of herself. Now the photo is herself in a car. I see in the photo, you're facing me in the photo. So on the right hand side of the photo, which would probably be your left, I see a spirit. I see someone there. It is a male figure, a strong male figure. I'm not sure if this is a past friend. I'm getting a friend or somebody that's not immediately related. It's not like a mother or a father or an aunt or uncle. In this case, it would be a father or an uncle, or I see that this person is a friend, is a spirit. They're right there. I also sense that there's sadness for some reason. And I don't think this sadness is about what you think it is. I think other things are troubling you. I'm going to give you a 2-card reading today. And the first card is the Sun. The Sun is a joyous card. Represents somebody riding. And in this card you can see that it's a full adult figure. The horse is an old horse. Okay, meaning you've been in the path of light, you've been in the path of goodness, and it's coming around again. You're starting to do it again. Okay, but it's slowing down. Old horses go slow. And everybody that's watched my videos know my charge change. Sometimes it's a child, a young horse. The old horse, and it's the old sun. You can see it's a little fainted, not as bright as normal. The land is a little done, but I see land and sea in this picture. What I see from this card is that you're continuously on this journey. It's been a good journey, it's been fun, but it's getting tiring, it's getting laid back. It's not as great as it was when it first started. And I think this sadness comes from depression. And that depression is okay to have. We all have the depression of my life is continuing on this path. Whether it's good or bad, the human nature is to say, oh, I'm bored with this. But I think there's more to it. I think there's other people interacting now. And it is getting where you want to do something different in your life. And that's okay. You want to do something more manageable. You want to do something more tolerant. You want to do something more exciting. Okay? I feel that the spirit next to you is related to that. That they're trying to push you in this direction. It's almost as if they're saying, hey, let's go over here and look at this. Okay? You need to pay attention to that. You need to pay attention to your surroundings. You need to pay attention to decisions that are being made quickly. Don't snap your fingers and make that decision. Think about it. And the way I do that is, if I have something coming up, I sit back and say, if I did that, what would happen? If I did this, what would happen? And I let it be for an entire day, 2 days, 3 days, a week. Okay? And I let things happen. If that direction is pulled and I happen to make that decision, then I know that it was meant to be. If something else comes up, well, that quick decision would have ruined that other opportunity. Our second card came up with 2 stuck together, which it is the Pope, which is spiritual, religious. In this case, I think it is spiritual, going together with the Sun card, which means your life is becoming spiritual, or it is spiritual. It's telling me what your life is. Okay, it's telling me that that I'm correct about this spiritual roundabout way that's going on and happening, and this roundabout continuously rounding, but it's not bad. Nothing bad is happening with this tour that you're doing. And I say tour because it's easier for people to recognize of a tour, walking around, seeing things, and you've done it before, and nothing new has happened. However, this is a warning to you that if you do something else, okay, you may fall off the horse. You go another way, you're pulling the horse in front of you, or you're riding, I'm not sure. Okay, I say you're riding it because the sun card showed me somebody on a horse. But maybe you're just walking with the horse. Maybe you're leading the horse. Maybe you've gotten off the horse and said, this is kind of, you know, predictable here. I know what's going to go on. I'm going to get off. I'm going to walk. And all of a sudden the horse rears up when you say, oh, let's go over there. Or let's go this way instead today. It's showing me that this spiritual journey, this life you have that's continuously going, that seems to be wrong, is not wrong. This is showing me a warning that don't fall off that horse. Don't change anything right now. Don't try to do stuff that you're not familiar with. I'm getting an impression that you do things that are familiar. You're like something of a job or your house. I keep seeing this house here. I keep seeing a work environment like an office. I keep seeing a water cooler, like somebody keeps going to the water cooler. They sit in the same spot in the office. And if you did something else, I'm not saying it's bad it's going to happen, but it's going to change things and not be like they are now for you, okay? I don't see this falling off the horse being bad. I see the spirituality very good in what you're doing. But right now, this change or this wanting to change or this idea of I gotta get out of here, you don't have to get out of here. You don't have to move. You're fine where you are. The Spirit is taking you. Maybe now I'm seeing that it's taking you and saying, we're not going to go there. Let's stay here for a little while. Because if you go over there, it's kind of like a guardian. Don't do this. Because it's going to ruin whatever's happening for you. Again, thank you for reading, letting me read to you. If you would like a reading or free reading and you're watching this perhaps, you can go to my website, www.brotherwade.com. You can also see me on my Facebook. And we're going to go to the next person. Alright, our next reading is for Steffi. I don't know if her real name is Stephanie or not, but that is the name that she sent with her request for a reading. Now, I'm relaxing myself because I'm sensing for her children. I'm sensing not an issue with children, but an overwhelming want for children. I don't see it's like she wants to have more children. Maybe she is feeling that maybe she would like to have more children. I'm just getting this child feeling before I begin my reading of the cards. I've drawn 2 cards already for her here, which I'm getting right now. And the card is the 10 of Coins, which is a financial blessing card. It shows a kingdom with coins falling. The necklace I see is wrapped around this castle. Now maybe this is money being around you. Maybe money spent on the children or an enjoyment of this. The next one is the Hanged Man. Now the Hanged Man signifies 2 things to me about you right now. That you're content. He's not struggling. He's okay with being upside down. The second thing about this card is that the bottom shows a sea. I see different things in an image. Shows a river. It shows water. I see a big water area here. And you're hanging over this water. Now, on the sides of it, I see that people are climbing up as if they're trying to help you, but they can't get there. Now, I see this as you're content where you are, and you're shutting out the world. Maybe, perhaps, you're content with your children, you're content with your life, you don't want anybody interfering in it. I see this as a very good card. I see that with the finances, I'm signifying now a career. You want to be left alone. And that's okay. But sometimes it's not okay, depending on who wants to get in your life. I sense that there's people that want to get in your life that are important, or that you have shut out and they're wondering why. I don't want you to make any enemies. I don't want you to have any hard or negative feelings towards others, or them having the negative feelings towards you because they're shut out. Maybe an opening, maybe perhaps once in a while, let some people in, or different matters discuss openly. Now, I'm not saying change your life totally. This is a wonderful kind of life, being free and not caring if you fall like the hangman into the water. But these other people, and the people are here on the side as if they want to help. And all of a sudden they get to the top, and, okay, and the water's here. There's a big open area, so if you want to do a splash, I'm just seeing other people in your life by these people that are climbing up this pole, wanting to untie the hanged man for some reason. I just see it there, and I see that these people are shut out, and I feel a down. It's not sad or negative, but it's a down feeling from not being allowed to be in your life. All right? Again, nothing bad by this reading. Nothing bad. It's just maybe something to clear up things for you. Maybe the spiritual realm wanted to let you know some things that it wanted to let you know. So thank you for reading, and we're going to go on to our next person here. All right, here we go. You might see a little smoke trailing through. I just lit some incense. We have Danny. She has posted a picture drawing 2 cards for her right now. We're going to see what develops. I do not see anything in the photo. I do sense a sense of peace of mind at the time the photo was taken. The first one is the Lovers, and the second one is the Wand or Staff. Now, the wand and staff here shows people building up a mountain. They're climbing it. It looks like they're kind of sticking twigs in it this time. It shows that you're building something up. You're trying to go somewhere. You're trying to get to somewhere. You're trying to get to something. Something of a journey. And I see that the Lovers cards is a relationship card. It shows 2 lands coming together. This time the lands are identical. I do see a female. I see a male here and a female. I see that there's a sun, and the sun card is right here. Believe it or not, my deck has a sun card, and this time I see it in the card, which shows me a very beautiful type relationship. Now, in this one, I do see a relationship issue, however. I sense that the relationship is happy, but it's not what you want. But it is what the universe has given to you. I feel that this building up is you trying to build up this relationship to what you want it to be. You're trying to say, this is what I want to have, and I'm going to work towards it, which is great. That's wonderful. I feel that you're doing a good job. You're not hurting anyone. You're not hurting yourself. I just don't see that the other person is recognizing this, perhaps. Or the 2 worlds, like I said, the 2 lands are the same, but they're not joined yet. There's still a little land space there. But this is typical of a relationship. You have 2 people coming together from 2 different worlds. And I'm going to draw one more card, the 9 of Swords, so somebody is sad. This is not necessarily death, but it's whatever's in this box is the past for you. And it's a warning that in this relationship, the past has to be the past. In other words, whatever you're trying to build up to, whatever you're trying to do is based on previous things and previous thoughts and previous ways of life. You have to end those. And it does show a man sitting there that's frustrated about this. He's not happy about it. And I realize that's going to be hard for you. It's hard for all of us to get over it. Okay? But those past can interfere with what you're doing now. I'm going to draw one more card. Two of Swords shows two people in armor. I do see a feminine type figure here. See a male figure here, masculine. You know, they're shaking hands or holding hands. I see this as a male knight and a female knight. But the thing that worries me about this is that they're in armor. They have their weapons. Why the ready for a fight type attitude? Why the ready for the fight in this relationship? Somebody is fighting each other to be what you want to build up. And that's not necessary. It's a good relationship, perhaps. Whatever this relationship is. But the fighting doesn't need to be there in it. It needs to separate itself. It needs to redirect the focus to something else. Okay, thank you again for letting me read to you. And we will continue here. And our next person is Connie, who sent me a photo. And in the photo, again, the photos that people send me are looking at me. So as I look at the photo, I see above the left-hand side a spirit looking down. I don't know if it's male or female. I just see it there. Maybe it's a part of the house that you're in. Maybe the spirit is a part of your environment, not necessarily attached to you. And as I draw 3 cards. The first one is what I call the ship card. It's the 9 of Cups, and as you see, it's a ship moving forward. The second card with this one, in order, is the 7 of Swords, which means you built something, and now you're inspecting it here. This is showing me that the forward movement into your life, you have made your life, and you're continuing to flow into it. It's not bad. The second one is a 4 of Swords, which is a warning that it's a spiritual card. The light of God or the light of the universe is shining down on you, and you're ready to go forward. It's kind of like a tent, but this time I see a light shining on you. It's not necessarily a tent. Sometimes I do see a tent. And this means that the spiritual universe is watching over you. This might be where the spirit is coming in. Maybe it's just a guardian of some sort. The Page of Coins is also a warning. A financial warning. It's left the city and you're on water. Anytime you're on water, anytime I see a water in a photo, it means that it's uncertainty. The water can throw you about. It can be calm. It can be rough. Land is rooted. And this is showing me that the spiritual realm has given you many things. However, maybe the things are not being used to the best of your ability. Perhaps you've made a few wrong choices, or you've made them and you've done them in an inconsistent way. I'm getting inconsistency. I'm getting that something is done, but it's not done right away or not done fully. I don't see procrastination in it. Maybe it's just a lack of effort, or the mind doesn't want to fully put itself to what you're doing. A lot of times, we do that. I've done it. Many people have done it. I don't think this is bad. But the mind has to be fully focused on what you're doing. The concentration, the effort, everything into what's going on. And it's not a bad reading. I see that your life has moved forward. You've created a lot of good things for yourself. You're very happy about it. You're inspecting it here in this card. The swords are in back of you. They're hung on the wall like they've been made. And they're ready to be used if necessary. They're perfect. They're there. It's not a bad reading. I think it's more of a warning for you to focus and continue what you're doing. Don't veer off the path. If something is started, the painting, finish it. Make sure everything is done right. It's a very good reading. It's one of those readings where it's an advice reading. Where are we right now? What do we need to do? And for that spirit, I do paranormal investigations, by the way. So I'm very intrigued that spirit is there. I see it right over you on the left, almost like it's watching. It's just there. I'm not too sure what it's there for, so I'm not going to speculate. The photo is very nice. So that's your reading, and I thank you for letting me read to you. I think we're going to do one more in this session, one more reading, and that is going to be it for today. So let's get on with this other reading. And as I get ready to do this, I am just shuffled my cards, and I realize that the incense has had a little smoke in the air, so I apologize again if the videos did have the smoke. The incense is still going. So, the next one is Shirley. She sent me a photo. I don't know if this photo was taken by her or if it's what I call staged photo where somebody did a photo session. It's a very nice photo. What I sense from the photo is a deep, not necessarily depression or sadness, but a deep low. The photo is somebody of happy, but I sense in that background that the happiness is hiding this other issue. I'm going to draw 2 cards to start. The cards are the 9 of Cups and the 4 of Swords, which shows me that this tent here you're in, okay, and this card goes on top of it. And this card is showing me you're going forward, but you don't want, this boat is not moving. Okay, boats are supposed to move forward. It's not moving. Something is keeping you in this little place you're in. And I don't think it's necessarily wrong to do that sometimes. As people, we like to focus on ourselves. We like to have ourselves in a place where we feel comfortable. But a lot of emotions are coming into this for some reason. The next card is the Page of Coins, which shows him standing on land with a lot of holes in the land. You're coming from a city, you have your coins, it's almost like you were just gambling at a big casino. And now you're walking, but there's holes. You could step in one and trip and fall, so you have to watch where you're going. And I think this is a tiptoeing type situation. Getting the word tiptoeing, where you're tiptoeing around something, a relationship, a life issue, job, finances, something you're slowly walking around, and you're not happy being this way. You're not happy. The 7 of Swords shows me that you've created this in a way. It's a creation one. It's something that shows me that you're watchative and intuitive in the sense that you know what's going on and you're checking on it. And it's showing me that this is something that has developed, something that has made itself this way. As you see in the photo of this man, he's done this. It's a process that he's had to do to come up with this result. This process of sheltering yourself or tiptoeing around this issue you have, the issue needs to be focused on. The issue needs to be drawn out, taken out, forcefully removed from where it is. It's like reaching in a cage and taking out the bird so you can clean the cage. The bird's not going to come out and land on your shoulder, so you slowly, politely grab the bird out and clean the cage and then put him back in. This is what's got to be done. You got to take the situation out, only in your case you got to take it out and put it somewhere else. Okay? When we clean a bird cage, we always put the bird back in the cage. So this is kind of like changing the hamster cage necessarily. Is you dump everything out, you wash it down, the hamster stays somewhere else maybe for that period. Maybe you make a new cage for the hamster, the old cage goes away, the old goes away, the new comes in. That's kind of like what I'm seeing right now. And the Page of Cups shows me this as well, because he has a cup, it's full, you're doing good with your life. A lot of times these cups can be empty, and you're rooted now. So this is what's going on next. This is coming into this situation that if you look at it and you create it and you're doing it, if you put these two cards together, now this is showing me this is the process. You're creating something. You have to change it. You have to take out the old and put in the new. Maybe this vase needed a new paint job. Maybe it needed to be refined. Maybe it needed to be worked over. Okay? And here you are. You're going to have a full glass. The wand and the drum. You can play a new tune. You're rooted. Everything will be successful if you do this. I don't sense that this tiptoeing is an urgent, bad matter. I do believe, however, that it's something that has to be watched. It's going to be having something to tend to later on down the road. So it should be sought after. A plan should be held. And I see a map in my head. Like it's a map where you follow your finger and you go places on it. An old parchment. And that's signifying to me that this is an old issue. That this map has been done before. The map has been used before. Nothing new to you. This time you have to be careful with the map. You have to study it, you have to follow it with your finger, and you have to proceed with the map better than you've done before. Maybe before you followed it, you rolled it up, you put it. This time you gotta lay it out, you gotta study it, you gotta pay attention to it. Whatever is happening for you is happening quickly, and it's got to be tended to. I'm not saying it's bad. But this is what the universe is telling me for you today. Okay? I'm going to draw one more card for you. That is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords shows somebody running into battle, running fiercely into it. And it's kind of like what I just said to you. It backs up my theory that something has to be charged into. Do it now, sort of speaking. No procrastinations, no thoughts. That is your reading. Thank you for letting me read to you. And that does bring this week's readings, or this session, I should say. We're doing it by session now. We're not really doing it by week or day. The other day I did a few sessions. But this session is coming to a close. If you would like a reading from us, you can go visit our website at www.brotherwade.com, or you can see me on Facebook. I try to get to as many readings as I can per session. There's some days I do more than one session together. There's some days where, like today, we have done a long session. I ask that when you write to me, you can send a photo or send me your problem. I keep it confidential. I'll only say your first name, and I will not discuss the problem that you discuss with me. I hold the confidentiality and the trust with you, the client, so that you are not disturbed or harmed, or your personal information is not given out. As you notice, I'll say your name. I have spoke with the person, or I haven't. I've read what they've had to said. I've seen their picture. Whatever it is kept confidential. Your name is said, that's it. And a lot of your names, folks, are not different. A lot of people have different names. So it could be anybody in the world. If you're worried about me saying your name, let me know about that. But I hope to see you again soon. I thank you for letting me read to you again. www.brotherwade.com, and don't forget to subscribe.